A basic bodice pattern is the framework or building block of any bodice design you want to create. Have you been struggling with creating one? Then this video is for you. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's AJ here. If you're new here, I'm saying a very big welcome to you. Do well to hit that subscribe button. And to my returning subscribers, welcome once again. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a basic bodice pattern. Like I said, it's the framework of everybody's design you're creating. With a basic bodice pattern, you can manipulate the pattern to create any design as wide as your imagination can go. So lucky you, today I'll be showing you how to create it beginner friendly. So guys, let's do this. These are the things you'll be needing to make a basic bodice block or basic bodice pattern. We have to be needing our tape roll. Then we need our pattern makers, that the French curve and a long ruler. Then I'm going to make use of blue pen and red pen today. Then pencil. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this ball. Let's see. The reason I want to use pencil is so that if there's any error, I can correct it. Then lastly, scissors. Or last but not the least, we are going to be starting with the front parts of the basic bodies. That's what we're going to be starting with. I'm going to be putting the measurements that we are using that we're going to be using on the screen. So the first thing I'd like to do is to mark my starting line. So because I'm going to be showing you the back and the front on this paper, I'm not going to be folding it. I'm not going to be folding the paper into two. There are cases where you may need to fold it into two. That's if it's not so compulsory. But I would say it's compulsory when you are making a design that the left side is going to be different from the right side, like maybe asymmetric neckline. You're drafting a pattern for asymmetric neckline. In that case, you may need to fold this into two. But for this one is a basic bodice block, so there won't be need for that. Let's just dive right into it. So I'm going to be marking 1 inch for the starting line. So from this starting line, this is where we are going to be. This is where all our measurements are going to follow through. First, I like to do is to measure my shoulder to bust points. So my shoulder mark is going to be from this starting line to bust points, and it is 10 inches. Let's name this bust points or bust line. The next thing I'm going to do is to get my chest line. What I like to do most times is to go up by 2 inches. But if you don't want to do that, you want to go through formula. The formula is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So I found out that doing that for different measurements just always approximates to 2 inches above the bust line. That's what I observed. So I just always like to dive right into it and use my 2 inches above the bust line. Then we are going to indicate chest line with CL. Or let me just write it out for our very, very new hits. This pencil is not the current. Chest line, bust line. Let's make it a bust line. So after that, I would like to go over to my other horizontal measurement. This chest line is an horizontal mark. This bust line is an horizontal mark. So I'm going to go to the other horizontal markings. For this particular basic bodice pattern, I'm going to be drafting from my shoulder to my M line. I'm going to be drafting like I'm making a blouse. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to be drafting this pattern for a blouse. The essence for that is if I stop at the waistline, what if you want to make a blouse? So from this particular pattern, you can manipulate it to shoulder to waistline if it's a design that will have joining at the waist parts. So let's go to my under bust line. My under bust line is 14. And I'll go to my waistline. My front waistline is 17 inches. We are going to use 21 as the blouse length. Let's make use of 22. This is hemline. We'll call this hemline. Then to the vertical measurement, this is all about the horizontal measurements. Now we're going to be going to the vertical measurement or vertical markings. So the first thing I'd like to take is my shoulder to shoulder. My shoulder to shoulder is 15 inches. And 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5. So I'm going to mark it up at the starting line, then I'm also going to mark it on the chest line. Something I'd like to emphasize is when you are taking your measurements vertically, like when I mean vertically, your tape rule is placed vertically from your shoulder to your chest line to your bust line. For those measurements, you don't divide. You put them according to what your reading is. But when you're measuring horizontally, like I mean your hip rule is placed horizontally or around your body, there are some of them that you measure by 2, and there are some you measure by 4. If it's going all around your body, by 4. If the tape rule is going around a part of your body that comes in 2 pairs, like your hands, your thighs, you divide by 2. Then also your shoulder to shoulder, you divide by 2. It's just going to take that straight mark. Draw the straight line, I mean. The next thing we're going to do now is to start making our markings on the horizontal lines. On the chest line, I like to slot in my bust measurements there. And my bust is 40. I told you that when your tape rule goes around your body, your measurement is around your body, you divide by 4. So 40 divided by 4 is 10. I hope you are following. I'm making this video as simple as possible for anybody to understand. Pattern drafting is not hard. You just have to know the techniques. Then I'm coming to my underbust line. My underbust is 32. Since my underbust measurement is going, the pulse has to go around my body. So I'm dividing it by 4. 32 divided by 4 is what? 8. That is 8. So I'm just going to mark 8 here. And for my waist is also 32. It's also 32. The 32 divided by 4 is 8. We're also going to mark 8 on the waistline. Then for the hemline, I always like to take my hip measurements. My hip is like the biggest part of my body. And the blouse is going to be sitting on my hips or before my hips. I always like to take my hip measurements. And my hip measurement is 44. So 44 divided by 4 is 11. We're going to mark 11 here. Time to join the markings. And this is where you're going to need your French curve. For this part, you can make use of your ruler or your French curve, but I just always find out that my French curve works better. So I'm using the slightly straight parts of my French curve, not this very round part. I don't know if you fancy it. Not this, the slightly straight part. And after that, I'll need to connect my underbust to my waist. I'm still going to go with this part. Here, you can use your straight ruler. I like to do this. Then to connect my waist to my hemline, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the dart intake. First, I'm going to measure my nipple to nipple measurements. And for me, it is 7. I'm going to divide my nipple to nipple measurements by 2. And that is 3.5. So I'm going to start it from my bust point down to my hemline. 3.5 to my hemline. So when I spread this, it's going to be 7. Guys, remember, not on your chest line, but from your bust point. From your bust line, I mean. That's where you start. That's where you start your marking to your hemline. Since this is a basic bodice, I'll just like to go into 1/2. This is 1/2 inch. Then from your bust point or from your bust line, you can come down by 0.75 inches. Then from your hemline, you go up by 2 inches. From here, I'm just going to connect this to this and this to this. Then from here, I'm going to draw the dart to my. So this is just for a basic blouse. If you want to make a bustier, from this dart intake, you can manipulate it. If you need a video of me showing you how to draft a pattern for a bustier, let me know. But for the sake of this video, not to make it too long, this is what we are going to be doing. Now, after doing this, let's go to the neckline. So we're making the human body. For a slimmer person, the neck width is 6. And we are going to divide it by 2, so that is 3. And the neck depth is 3. For a bigger person, if I use 3.5 by 3.5, then if you want the neckline wider, if you want neckline wider, you can go as far as 5, as 4. From this particular bodice block, you can draft whatever you want. That's why it's a basic bodice block, basic bodice pattern. From this, you can manipulate your design to however you want. So I'm just going to connect those 2 points. So this is what it's looking like. Then from here, do you know what? Let me go in with my blue pens. Since this is going to be a permanent marking. Yeah, then from my shoulder, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. That's my shoulder slope. If you look at your shoulder, it's not straight, it's slant. So ensure that you take shoulder slope so that your outfit won't be gathering at the armhole. And now taking the armhole, I'm going to divide from this shoulder slope down to my chest line. I'm going to divide what I have. This is 6.5. 6.5 divided by 2. I'm going to divide by 2. That's going to be 3.25. That's somewhere here. So I'm going to go in by half inch or 0.2 or 0.75 to connect from the shoulder slope to this mark. Then to this mark. Okay guys, so this is the armhole now. So here we're going to be slotting in the allowance. We're going to be slotting in the allowance now. So first you measure your dart. This is half inch I took. I took half inch from here and half inch from here. So that was 1 inch out of it. Okay, I'm going to mark it. That's my 1 inch out. Then from here as well, I'm going to measure. So this is about 0.25. So I'm going to take that measurement here as well. So it's time to start joining the marks. After doing this, I'm going to go to my side darts. For this particular basic bodice pattern, I'm going to put in side darts. And what I do for the measurements of my dart, how wide I want it to be, I always take the difference between my front waistline, that's my front shoulder to waist, minus my back shoulder to waist. My front waistline is 17 and my back waistline is 15. So 17 minus 15 is 2. That means from my bust point, I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches. This is 2 inches. I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches. And from my bust point, I'm going to be going out by 1 inch. So that the dart is going to be lax. That's what I'm going to be doing. So here, I'm going to join the lines. Let's also connect this. Then from this point, I'm going to divide by 2. This is 1 inch. And I'm going to join it. Then you draft it out a bit. And from here, I'm going to measure 0.75. Then after measuring that, I'm going to join it to this. You can also work with 0.5, but I like to work with 0.75. Can you see it? From here, I came down by 2 inches. Then I divided. Then I joined this line to the bust points. From the bust points, I came out by 1 inch. So I joined it to this point. Then I divided by 2. That's 1 inch, and I drew the line out. Then from this line to this point is 0.75. I marked it and I joined it to these 2 sides. The essence for this is when you fold it, so that you won't be shocked. Can you see? When you fold it, when you want to make your dart, when you fold it, so that it won't reduce your measurements, your bust measurements. That's the reason for this extra. So this is our basic bodice pattern for the front. What I'm going to do next, this is for people that used to forget to put allowance when cutting. For me, this is fine. I can just go ahead to trim it. This is fine. But for people that used to forget to cut their allowance on the fabric, and most times it's always 0.5. That's half inch round your pattern, half inch round it. But people that used to forget, this one is for you. So this is where I'm going to be using my red pen to indicate my seam allowance. Okay guys, so something else. If you want to have like so much allowance in your fabric, make sure that you add it. if it's 1 inch, you have to add 1 inch out. You have to add 1 inch out. But for this particular basic bodies, we don't need too much allowance. You just need half-inch allowance. And this is good. And I'm going to be drafting this out now on the paper because of people that used to forget to add that seam allowance on the fabric. Some people used to forget. That's the reason why I'll be drafting. For people like that, for start, be drafting it on your paper so that you will not forget. Let's come up here by half-inch. And let's also come out here by half-inch. So let's connect. So from here, I'm going to mark 0.5 inch. From the starting line up to this mark, I'm going to mark 0.5 inch. Then from here as well, I'm going to mark 0.5 inch. So with my straight ruler, I'm going to connect these 2 points. From here, I'm going to take 0.5 inch again. Then from here, I'm going to take 0.5 inch. And from here, I'm going to take 0.5 inch. So this is us basically slotting 0.5 inch round the pattern we already created. At this bust point, you're also going to come in by 0.5 inch. At this point, you're also going to come out, by 0.5 inch. And at this point as well, you're going to come out by 0.5 inch. Then here, that's the under bust line. We're going to come out by 0.5 inch. On the waistline, we're going to come out by 0.5 inch. And on the hemline, we're also going to come out by 0.5 inch. Yeah, don't forget, this red line is indicating your seam allowance. So down here, we are going, that's from the M line, under the M line, you're going to come out by 0.5 inch as well. Just going to draw that straight line. I would like to highlight the dots. You can choose to make use of a board marker. I decided to use pen because I'll be making two different markings for the basic bodies and also the allowance. So for easy understanding, I had to use 2 markers. So this is your basic bodice block or your basic bodice pattern for the front. And from here, you can do any manipulation you want to do. You can choose to do princess darts. You can choose to do princess dart from here. You can choose to draft it. That's your princess dart. You can choose to transform it to a bustier. Let's draft our back basic bodice block right now. This is our starting line. So we're going to indicate 1 inch for our starting line. So like we did for the front, we are going to start doing all our vertical markings. So the first one we are going to be taking is our shoulder to bust points. That's 10 inches. Then we are going to go up. I'm going to try to make the back faster, guys. So please just follow closely here. Like I said, the chest line is 2 inches above the bust line. So that is going to be 8 inches. Then downwards, my under bust line is 14 inches if you're going to mark it. Then my waistline for my back is 15 inches. Then my shoulder to hemline or my shoulder to hemline is going to be 22 inches. So I'm going to follow that measurement for the other side as well. Guys, just follow. From my shoulder to bust line, it is 10. Then I'm going to go up by 8 inches. Sorry, go up by 2 inches. That's 8 for the chest line. Then I'm going to come down to 15. We shouldn't emphasize on under bust line because this is the back. If you can look at it, my under bust line is 14 and my back waistline is 15. There's no much difference. So for the hemline, that's 22. So guys, we're going to do the markings now. For the chest line, that's 8 inches, 2 inches from the bust line. Then now I'm going to mark my bust line, which is 10. Then my waistline, which is 15. Now, if you noticed anything, my front waistline was 17 and my back is 15. Then my hemline gives 22 inches. So that's all for that. Now let's just indicate here chest line. This is bust line. This is waistline. And this is hemline. Okay, it's already indicated there. So the first thing we are going to do is to mark our shoulder to shoulder measurements, which is 15. 15 divided by 2, 7.5. We're going to measure it on the chest line. Then we are going to draw it with our straight ruler. Then on the chest line, we're going to take our measurements for the bust. And my bust is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. Then on my waistline, my waist is 32. 32 divided by 10 is 8. Then on my hemline, like I said in the front, I'm going to be using my hip line for my hem. Now my hip is 44. 44 divided by 4 is 11 inches. Now we're going to do all the markings. From my chest line, I'm going to draw a straight line to my waistline. Then from my waistline, I'll take a curved line to my hemline. Take curve, yes, to my hemline. And I'm going to go ahead we're going to go ahead to take our back measurements. Sorry, we're going to go ahead to take our neck measurement for the back. Like the front, I said the neck width is 6. So that's 6 divided by 2, 3 inches. Now for the back, this is going to be a high neckline at the back. From this, you can manipulate it to however you like. Do you want it to be deep? Do you want it to be V? From this measurement, you can manipulate. So the neck depth for the back is going to be 1 inch. Okay, for this part, I'm going to use my pen. Take our shoulder slope. From here, I'll come down by 1 inch with my crochet ruler. Then we're going to take our armhole for the back. From the shoulder slope to the bust points. Sorry, from shoulder slope to the chest line, this is 6.5, or let's say 6.75. So I'm going to divide it by 2. And that's going to be 3.5, or let's say 3.6. 3.6. So from here, we are not going to come in like we did for the front. We went in by 0.5 inch. The essence for that is for armhole control, to ensure that your fabric is not folding at your armhole part. That's the essence for that. For the back, it's not necessary. So this is for the back armhole. We're going to do the dart intake for the back. We're going to still make use of our bust points measurements, or bust span. So, and it is 7 divided by 3.5. So we're going to mark it at the, like it's pencil for this part. So let's mark it on the hemline and also on the bust line, 3.5. So let's drag it. Then at the waistline, I'm going to come in by 0.5 inches and come in by 0.5 inches on both sides. With my blue pen, I'm going to, and for the back as well, like I said for the front, you come down the bust line by 0.75 inch and you go up your hip line with 2 inch. Then we're going to connect. After fixing in our darts, it's normal that the fabric it's normal that the measurements is going to be smaller. So to make sure that we get our exact measurements, we are going to be coming out from the waist part by 1 inch. That's the waistline. We're coming out the waistline by 1 inch. So here we're going to slot in 1 inch. From this 1 inch, we're going to connect it to the chest line. And we're also going to connect it to the hemline. So guys, this is what it's looking like. Now, next thing we are going to do is to start marking our seam allowance. So this is where I'm going to use my red pen. Well, seam allowance is 0.5. For the back, there's no need for bust darts, bust side darts, whatever you call it. There's no need for that at the back. So we're going to go up here by 0.5 inch. And we're also going to go up here by 0.5 inch. And with our ruler, we're going to connect. Our curved ruler, we're going to connect. Then we're also going to come up here by 0.5 inch. And to our straight ruler, we are going to connect it. We're going to come out here by 0.5 inch. Then also here by 0.5 inch. And I also like to do this. Let's come out here by 0.5 inch. Let's come out here by 0.5 inch. Then with this, we are just going to create that curve. Okay, can you see it? Then from the waistline, you're going to come out by 0.5 inch. And on the hemline, we're going to come out by 0.5 inch. Dash. straight ruler, then from the hemline as well, we are going to come out here by 0.5 inch. I'm also going to come out here by 0.5 inch. Okay guys, so this is it for the basic bodice block for the back. Because it is on fold, I'm going to put in 2x, and I'm also going to indicate this. So guys, this is what it is. This is the front. This is the front basic bodice pattern. This is it. And this is the back basic bodice pattern. Yes, thank you so much for watching my video. Do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Do like this video, share and comment. Let's conversation not end here. Let's continue in the comment section. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.